Fantastic. Last couple days have been unreal. Yeah. Now I don't have any. I don't have you on picture though. Yeah, that's kind of one of the realizations I have too. It's like, oh man, I got to get this, or oh, this is so funny. I'll always laugh at this, and sometimes you do, but usually you have like 30 videos of the same event. Don't get me wrong. Again, sometimes they'll pop up on that little memory thing. Like, oh, yeah, it's usually pretty cute and nostalgic, and you can show your wife and have fun. But yeah, a lot of it doesn't get used quite a bit. Oh, and you have to individually like swipe right and then delete them on a list. Yeah, I remember. Or you can select quite a bit if you just go into your video file, but your video folder. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
How we doing now?
Good.
Sick.
Except you're sideways.
I thought we were always sideways. Oh, it's probably because you've been on your laptop before, right? Are you on your
Yeah,
phone right now?
yeah,
Ah, that's it. How's that? Can
that's
you hear
perfect.
me?
That's perfect.
Oh, buddy. What's up?
We are rocking.
We're rocking. Only 10 minutes late.
We are rocking. We are recording. We are having a time.
We're having a day. It's
Good,
great.
good thing you're Josh.
And good thing you're Andrew.
And together,
We are.
dads.
Ooh.
Swing
Ding.
that pancake batter round and round.
That was a fun one.
It was kind of cool, eh?
It really put some emphasis into it. I like it.
Let's talk about how cool my trip's been.
I want to hear all about it. I saw some pictures of the walking like hip waders. Like, what's that? Let's hear about it.
It's called the Narrows, and essentially what you're doing is you're hiking up the Virgin River. Let's just say two single buddies, disappointed. Um, a lot of people have died on that trail because you're hiking through like a canyon, like a slot canyon. That's a river kind of thing. It gets
Gotcha.
it's pretty narrow,
Yeah.
and sometimes there's flash floods, and the water's very cold. This time of year, it's very cold. I think in the summer you can do it in just like shorts and stuff, and it's
That'd be
light.
cool.
However, in the summer it's very busy. So yeah, we had to throw hip waders on. We had neoprene socks on. Your feet are wet instantly, but because of the neoprene, they're at least warm.
Yeah.
And you got to have a hiking stick because there's a lot of rocks. It's a really rocky rock bed river. But great time. We were buzzing doing that. That was 15K one way. We
No
hiked all,
way.
yeah, we hiked all the way up to the end to the point where you're allowed to go. Otherwise, you need a permit. And then 15K back. And it was funny because usually you think of hikes of a lot of climbing, but this one you're walking pretty much straight. However, fighting the water,
Yeah.
legs are our legs were smoked. We're
No
great.
way.
Yeah.
So was that was the day, hey? Like there was no like, hey, let's go out and do top golf afterwards. It was like we're doing this hike, now we're gonna go back and sleep.
I mean, no, I mean, we had to go to Walmart to pick up some supplies, like some food and stuff. But we were definitely a sight for sore eyes, like just kind of hobbling around. Yeah, no, we didn't do anything crazy after that. That was like a 7 hour day.
That's wild. That's wicked.
Yeah, yeah, that was a 7 hour hike. So we were good. Yeah,
Now were you flying on the way back?
we definitely picked up the pace because on the way there we're stopping for pictures, we're stopping for food, and just kind of like you don't really know where to go, kind of. But on the way back, you see the water a little bit better, um, and you realize like, hey, you got to try to walk where it's shallow, and or on there's like little beaches or along the beaches. Otherwise, excuse me. Otherwise, yeah, you're just going to be delaying the inevitable. So we flew down compared to how long it took us to get up.
And the water was at your back.
Yeah, that was a little nicer too. The hip flexors definitely like that because 15K of fighting it was. They're like, "Where's the eccentric here?" And there's like, "There is no eccentric."
Yeah. I love that, man. I saw the pictures and for me, I just look at it like I would love to swim that trek.
I don't think you could.
I know, but I would like to try.
In we did say like in the summer, there's a lot of parts where like the river would get really deep and kind of have like a bit of a cove or a pool. It would be, and there's like a big boulder. It'd be like that would be so cool to just stay here in the summer and jump off of and swim around for a bit. And I think people do that. They bring a picnic and they do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't think you're swimming down the river though.
I
Um,
was. We were on Vancouver Island 2 summers ago, and we did this thing called the Cowichan River Float. It's like I think it's like 5 kilometers um, down the river, and you get like you're in the town, and you start in your tubes or your little boats, and you float down. There's hundreds of people doing it. You get picked up by the bus from whichever place you're at the end of it. Right, bus comes like every 25 minutes. And if you think I spent any time in a boat, you're sorely mistaken. I swam the entire time because the water was amazing, and it was you go from times like super deep to relatively shallow. I was finding things in there, man. I found two different sets of like a face mask as well as goggles. It was great. I
there you go.
loved it.
Yeah.
And I was an absolute child because all the other adults were sitting in the boats, and my daughter and my niece were even sitting in their boats, and I was just, hey guys, look what I can do, look where I can go, just down, up the entire time.
Rate my handstand.
Exactly. Check out my 360 spin.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
What
Yeah.
else you got going on down there?
We did yesterday. We did Angel's Landing, and I'm terrified of heights. This is. I think the Narrows kills more people, but Angel's Landing certainly feels like it does. Um, it's only 7K. This part of the hike is only 7K, and the Angel's Landing part is only half a mile out, half a mile back, so a mile. However, that half mile is treacherous. You're essentially hiking the spine of a ridge, pretty much all with chains bolted into the side of the mountain. You're hanging. There's one point you're totally exposed on both sides, and sheer drop offs, and the trail is only 4 feet wide. It's Josh is wild.
So could you die? Like you
Oh
sounds
yeah,
like you could die.
you could you could. I was having a freak out very early on. Um, very early on, I was like, I told the boys like, look, there's a very good chance stop, and I'll just wait for you guys. And you have to get there. You have to climb a lot of switchbacks, and I started getting vertigo on the switchbacks.
And you're like, boys, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long. Like I didn't say anything there, but I started having some freakouts just on the hike up. And then we got to Angel's Landing and I did the first chain section, and I was like, not okay, but I was somewhat all right. And then you get to this little side piece that was just totally exposed, no chains, and it wasn't super steep, but it was like pretty good grade. But there, again, there's no chains, so I had to kind of like I had to lean on the wall and kind of scramble 50 feet, and I froze, and I was like, oh my god, I'm this is it, like this is where it happens. I don't know what I did to get going, but I just kind of did it. um and then after that, my one buddy looked at me and goes like, I'll go behind you. And I was thankful for that, because I could my plan was to focus on someone's feet in front of me, and just think of where my hands were. But if I was at the back, I was going too slow. So they were great. The only reason I finished it was because of my friends.
That's
And
awesome. Pushing you through.
yeah, but not like being dicks about it though. I mean, there was one point one of them was like, "Hey, look, if you want to turn around, we'll turn around." And I wanted to turn around because I had this pit in my stomach, and like just again, I was afraid the entire time. And one buddy goes, "No, this is what we came for," and I was like, "Oh, he's right." Like he was right, but
Like, I'm taking you off the Christmas card list though, but you are right.
yeah, there was older people on there. There was people in not so great shape, kind of thing. So it was all mental. Like I kept trying to negotiate with myself. Like I was like, the worst was obviously going down was a lot harder, but the worst was on the way up because you would get to a plateau, and I would say, "Oh, I think this is it," and they're like, "No, no, no, you got to keep going." And sure enough, there was like a couple that was kind of coming behind us, and the girl comes up and she wasn't even using the chains, Josh. She wasn't using the chains. Like, oh, okay, this is all mental. Then this is a mental condition of mine.
And then you get passed by some like 9-year-old wearing Crocs too, and you're like, wow, what? Where am I? Where is this?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. We didn't see any kids when we did it. It was actually mostly adults. Um, but yeah, no, it was totally terrifying. Uh,
But
but feel super proud for doing it. The boys, were,
absolutely,
were pretty buzzed about me getting through it because the entire time, Josh, like the entire time, I was breathing like, and like I couldn't enjoy it. Even at the top, there's a picture of the group, and I'm like, my hood is up, and I'm like this, and I'm
you're
just
in a different spot. You're in a
uh,
different galaxy.
you can't see my hands, but they're like pushed or punched into my jacket pocket. I mean, the really one of the coolest part is like actually on the hike up on the switchbacks, we ran into a park ranger, and we were talking with him. He was the keeper. He was the keeper of the condors, like the big bird. Uh, he's restoring them across the national parks in the area. And at the very top, he's like, "Keep your eyes open, boys. Like you'll see some condors here today." And he started showing us his tracking equipment and everything. And sure
Mhm.
enough, at the top there was two condors.
No way.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. So we got to see some rare birds.
And you wouldn't have seen that if you let yourself be uncomfortable or not let yourself be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with the lesson there because the consequences were fatal and very real. Like I don't know if I would have done that hike. I definitely would have done that hike alone. I don't know who else I would have done that hike with and got done it. And especially in that situation, like there was four of us. If there was only two, I don't think I'd do it because there's no way I'm going first. Again, um, it'd be a lot harder just to follow one person. So
You know, though, there's something to be said about doing, like challenging yourself to something that there's a good chance you're just not going to finish as well, right? Like they were, there's that thing about doing something that there is a 50-50 chance that you might not be able to complete it. And this one sounds like you had more odds stacked against you than 50%.
um, yeah, I mean, like going into it, I was very real with myself, and like I said with them, I told them, look, I'm gonna try. If I don't do it, I don't do it. Like I'll wait for you in the car, or I'll wait for you on the trailhead, like at the with the junction where it splits. You're right. Like I just knew like I had to just show up, put one foot in front of the other, and focus on my feet and my hands, kind of thing.
Hmm.
The part where I struggle is like, don't do it on that trail. 'Cause there's no easy way to get you out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. Like if you have a serious freak out, a serious anxiety attack or something, you're hooped. Like you there's no way to get you out. So
So when you were pushing your like pushing yourself to do it, did you have like the classic cliffhanger movie like where you're like, if I don't make it to the top, someone has kidnapped my family, and the only way to get there to get them free is to make it through this. I got to get up top. I got to push myself through.
no, no, not at all. The only time I actually thought about my family was like negative, and I had to stop that immediately. So when I was having the freak out on the siding there, the unchained siding part, my immediate thought pattern went to, you're gonna slip here and you're gonna die, and your family's gonna find out about how you died, and it's gonna be super embarrassing. And dude, like then my brain started playing how I was gonna slip and fall, and I had to immediately shut that down.
Yeah, 100%. You were going through that.
Man, like just no, just like shut up. You're stop. Look ahead of you. These guys did it, no problem.
Hmm.
And then I was like, look, you don't have to do it standing straight up. Like I basically put I went into like a low plank on the wall and scuttled across. um, coming down when it was like super steep. I just sat on my ass and kind of crab walk down, you know. There's a couple of videos, the guy, my buddy behind me, and even some points too. I asked him to go in front of me to the side so I could like kind of lean on him a little bit. You know, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. But there's a couple of videos of him that he took just to like show the perspective
Yeah,
of where we are, and it pans on me and he pans over to the cliff and then it pans kind of back on to not on just on me but on us, and you can see me just like clenching that chain so hard, or like in this like kind of like low stance, like waddling, you know. And if you, the other two guys ahead of me, there's like they're not doing any of that. They're just like one hand, maybe one hand on the chain, but walking straight up. The one guy in front of me is like taking videos and stuff. And again, like it's all in, it's all in the head. But I don't know how they do it, because like if you see the pan out to the cliffs, it's
that's
huge.
funny. Well, the thing is too, right? Is because you hit the nail on the head before. Like this is a mental thing on your part because like physically you're capable of doing that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there
So, not yeah. That's let's not downplay your extreme physique, your physical capabilities here.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, good point. Like, you know, good in good shape and stuff.
Strength of Hercules over here, swinging some bells around.
That's very true, and that helps. You know, if I can't imagine being weak and trying to like hoist yourself up, because there was a couple points where you had to like the rock face was really steep, so you had to kind of like press up or pull yourself up on the chain.
It
Um,
truly feels like you shouldn't have been where you were if this is what if this is the setup to get to the top.
yeah, I definitely don't advise it for vast majority of the people, and like especially it tells you like if you're afraid of heights, like don't do this, don't do it.
Like, at how many points did you actually say, guys, what the fuck are we doing here?
You know what, it actually like I did again, I couldn't think of any of that while doing it, Josh. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just knew like like I said, well, not I didn't say this part, but whenever we got to the plateau and I said I was negotiating, like this is it, everyone was like kind of like taking pictures and laughing and making jokes. Dude, I was just like standing there, like again, hood up, like on my mouth,
Just
breathing, like I was like, we have to keep moving. I can't stand here, kind of thing. Um, and then it actually got more like, what did we do after we're done? Because then you're just looking at it. I couldn't really look at it before and try to pick people out and find out where we're going, because it was freaking me out. But afterwards, we're taking pictures at kind of the junction area. We went and did this sick backcountry hike too, where we climbed some crazy cliffs as well, but nothing like Angel's Landing. Um, but just seeing it like even this morning, we're gonna go back to the park and do some stuff, and it's like I cannot believe. I kept saying to them like, I can't believe you guys made me do this. And like, we didn't make you do this. You wanted to do this, and I was like, no, I'm joking. Like, thank you for
yeah.
with me. Um, but yeah, it's after just seeing it, like it's just like this is wild.
So how many more days then before we can talk about finding some lessons within that once you've processed what you went through? Because there's a bunch in there, buddy. We could metaphor for days just from what you just talked about.
But yeah, yeah. No, it was one thing I was thinking about last night. Probably a couple of days. I think once I get back, and
Next week.
yeah, I was telling my wife and stuff too. I was telling her like when I told her we were doing it in the morning, she's like, I can't believe you're doing that. You know, people die. You know, it's one of the most it's the most one of the most dangerous hikes in the U.S. And I was like, I know all this. I
You,
really need you to jazz me up here.
yeah, this isn't what I'm asking for right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I need you to kind of psych me up because I'm freaking out over here. I need you to calm, cool, and collected. But um, I mean, a couple of things I think that helped were, you know, I've been doing a lot of journaling lately in the mornings. Um, Still been doing that, and meditation. You know, about 20 minutes, 10 minutes total on each of those, and just being able to flip that mind on the mountain. I had a couple grounding affirmations I had written down yesterday that I was like, and again, I wrote down,
Hmm.
if you won't need to stop, stop. Like if you really, really need to stop, just stop. Um, Now that doesn't mean like stop and sit down and wait for someone to rescue you, but maybe that just means just like stop and calm down for a second. I was like, ask for help, right? So I'd ask my buddies for help. I asked a couple of strangers. Like there's a couple of points where you have to pat, like you're coming and going, or you're going, they're coming, kind of thing. And they were just kind of waiting, and a couple of them were just like waiting in a spot where it would make me go into an exposed cliff or exposed area, and I was, they could tell, like they'd see my buddies walking, and then they would see me like hunched over, and I'd be like, can you stand over here? And they're like, yeah, yeah, no problem. But yeah, no, there's a lot there, and I think those couple tools that I have been, those habits I've been trying to practice for the last couple months really, really did help when push came to shove up there.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about, right? Obviously, it means that you're on the right journey, you're on the right track with that. And I was one of my questions is if you're still finding time to do that while you're on the trip here with the fellas.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little different. What's different about it is like now the morning routine really doesn't get interrupted. Um, I don't by a child waking up early kind of thing. So I really do have, authority over that first hour of my day.
Yeah,
Vegas was actually a little easier to get all of it done in because there was like a gym downstairs and stuff. So
yeah,
no gym here, but I got a nice soft carpet that I've been doing some yogas on, and that's been really nice. Um, the different part is like every morning's kind of early. Like I'm actually the we're all chipping in, but my role has been breakfast. So
yeah,
we're out the door between 6:30 and 6:45. So I'm cooking up everything kind of before then
yeah.
and rolling. But
Just cracking eggs and throwing some bacon around.
yeah, cracking pancakes as well yesterday.
Nice.
They were bad though. They weren't very good. The pans were like they're kind of hard, and the oven's kind of hard to get used to here, but
Did you sprinkle in a little bit of love though?
always love.
Perfect.
Nervous energy was definitely
That's
made.
maybe that's what it was, right?
Yeah, the first setup. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, look, if I just sat in my bed and waited for someone to do it, you know, and wasn't contributing, I probably would be a little less inclined to see it through. Who knows? Who knows?
So you're the first one up then, hey?
Oh yeah,
Everyone's sleeping right now. Everyone's enjoying their time.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But
I had one of those.
I like the
Sorry.
morning. I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. We're both kind of that way, right? Today, though, I'll tell you, when my alarm went off at 4:10, I'm like, do I really want to get up and do the workout?
Mm,
And much like what you were talking about, the lifestyles, the habits that you're trying to do, it's like, no, I need to get up. I need to do this, and I won't be disappointed,
no,
right?
and
And I
I think
wasn't.
I think one thing, you know, uh, the guys are good. We're buzzing. We're having a great week together. Um, but one thing is like you've gotta see the see the discipline through, right? If you don't, you start to stray because it's a little comfortable or it's a little easier to not get up at 4:10, and it's not, you don't want to work out at 4:30 or whatever it is, right? Whatever, like you start to live with regret, and you kind of maybe start taking less accountability for your life, where it's like
Bingo.
it's so easy to sleep in, but then it's those days for sure that your plans to work out later get sideswiped by something.
100%. I
And
knew if I didn't go and put in 20 now, and that's the thing, it's 20 minutes. I do 20 minutes, right? Many rounds as I can on things, and that's that, right? But it's once that's done, like we talked about this, like now the stress about that is gone. I don't have that in the back of my head being like, when are you going to find this time? Are you sure you want to eat that right now? Do you want to have that extra whatever it is? Because now it's holiday baking season, right? So now I'm literally just working out to maintain what I already have,
or just
right? But that's in the
mitigate,
back of my head.
yeah,
So
just mitigate damage of what's happening, what you are eating. So yeah, no, you got to own it.
Well, I'm glad you're still maintaining that while you're away. Have you? How are you going to phrase your mountain climb story with your son when he asks you about it? Is it going to be Dad was just doing two hand pull ups onto the next ridge?
Well, we were FaceTiming. We FaceTime every day, but he's more interested. I don't think he was like focused. I hadn't I hadn't sent my wife any videos before we talked because she was like, "Well, how was it?" Like, and I was like, "It was crazy." She's like, "I can't believe you did it." I was like, "Yeah, me neither," kind of thing. And then I was like, "Oh," but he was going to bed when after that. But he's just been so jazzed to like FaceTime with the boys too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I think and I can tell though he's upset with me that I'm at a hotel and he's not.
Well, you got the playroom, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's all he thinks is happening. Um, so it's one of those things like, hey, we're still FaceTiming, but like it's kind of not shorter, but we're not really talking much because
Yeah.
he's like kind of acting out a bit. So yeah,
How many of the guys you're with are dads aside from
just
you?
just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that? Do you see the difference in? I don't know if you want to say lifestyle or mentality or conversations between dad and non-dad friends when you're on a trip like this.
Yeah, I think I mean the one of the other guys wants to have kids and is married, and then one is just like bachelor life kind of thing. Um,
Silly bugger. Who'd want that? Right? Who wants to do whatever you want, whenever you want, all the time?
there was something there. Yeah, there's been a couple instances where, again, like I think I've said this before, but like when my sister, she's expecting, but when she wasn't, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm so tired," or "Oh, I don't have the time," and I'd be like, "You have no idea,
How dare you? How dare you?
you ignorant fool! You think you're tired now? Here you go." That um there's a lot of, but there's like that's the thing. It's just what people have. Your biggest problem is your biggest problem.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? And it's always funny, like when you hear people like that. It's like we're lecturing someone on the decisions that we made
Yeah,
fully well, right? It's like,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
exactly.
that's awesome.
I mean, I try not to complain, and it's not that I have much to complain about. It like
No,
your point, like it's hard because we've made it hard. However, the hard now means the good later, and truthfully, like there is a lot of good right now. Like it's mostly good. We just gotta. I've said this too, but we're redoing the playroom, and my wife showed me the picture of the poster. The good now is good old days or something like that. And it's true. Like this, I'm having a lot of fun, but when we FaceTime, it's like I miss being home.
well, absolutely, right? You missed that. I don't know, just being there, right? Because you're watching these two little lives being molded and learning different things, right? And it's tossing wrenches that you never thought of. Like this morning when you're like, "Hey, you ready to go?" I would have been, but my daughter now wants out of the bath, so give me another 5. I'm so sorry. Here
It's
we
like
are, but wouldn't change it for the world, though.
yeah, 5 a.m. baths. Who doesn't love those?
Well, we're on like a 4:40 a.m. wake up. And the crazy part is, and then people just think like she may be up. No, my daughter, she's in bed by like 7, man. She's out when she goes all day. Like she'll drain her battery,
Yeah,
but then just we're up at like 4:40 right now. I
heck,
figure after the time change, it only takes like a couple weeks. No, we're
no,
still going strong with this pre 5 a.m. wake up, and who am I? That's when I'm up, so who am I to say she can't? I guess, but
yeah, exactly right. And that's like how you gotta stay asleep. It's like no, I gotta listen to Jocko Willink, that David Goggins.
that's right. Just yelling at me.
Yeah, Josh, I think that's a good place to end it.
Let's do it. Let's end it.
Okay, your
You're
Josh
Andrew.
and your
Oh, we
Josh,
did it at the same time.
and together,
We are
dads
who swing
swing that fish
on
line.
chains on the side of a mountain at Angel's Landing.
Yeah.